That was Sigrid with Burning Bridges, the Crush Club remix. Welcome to the Rise Weekly Review for March 28th through April 4th, 2022. On Wednesday, a man was shot near the South Chicago South Shore border. Around 3:40 a.m., the man was sitting in his car in the 7700 block of South Kingston. According to reports, two males walked up to the vehicle and fired shots. The man was struck once in each of his shoulders. He was taken to the University of Chicago and originally reported in critical condition. The man, identified as 33-year-old Carl Perry, passed away from his injuries over the weekend. Anyone with information on this or other Chicago crimes is asked to call 311 or leave an anonymous tip at cpdtip.com. On Friday, a 61-year-old man was shot and killed. According to witnesses, around 12:30 p.m., the man was on the sidewalk on the 7600 block of South Marquette. Two people reportedly walked up to the man and pulled out guns. They then opened fire and struck the man in the chest. The victim, identified as Kenneth Mickey, was taken to South Shore Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The shooter reportedly fled down Marquette. Police are currently investigating. In an update, a man was charged on Monday the 14th with the shooting of 61-year-old Kenneth Mickey. According to reports, 18-year-old Jeremiah Bush was arrested about an hour after the shooting. He is alleged to be one of the two gunmen involved in the shooting that took the life of the 61-year-old. Bush was arrested on the 7800 block of South Rhodes. He faces charges of first-degree murder and unlawful use of a weapon. A shooting on Friday left a man dead near the Calumet City-Hammond, Indiana border. According to reports, around 1:47 p.m., the man was driving near the 5500 block of State Line Avenue. The man, identified as 27-year-old Zachary Smith, was shot multiple times before crashing his car on the Hammond side of the State Line border. Police have not released details as to the events surrounding the shooting. Smith was airlifted to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he passed away from his injuries. His death has been ruled a homicide by the Cook County Medical Examiners. Anyone with information on Hammond crimes can call 219-853-7487. A man was mauled by a pit bull in a robbery attempt in South Shore. According to reports, around 4:30 a.m., a man was going to his car parked near Jeffrey and 67th Street. According to reports, as the man was entering his vehicle, two men used their pit bull as a weapon against him. The dog's owner reportedly came up to the man as he was entering his vehicle and unleashed the dog, sending it to attack him. As the dog attacked the man, the two assailants took the man's wallet, keys, and money. The 30-year-old victim managed to take himself to the University of Chicago Medical Center and was last reported in serious condition. Reserve Management Group has filed for an appeal after its permit for a metal shredder on Chicago's east side was denied earlier this year. The appeal, filed with the city's Department of Administrative Hearings, is scheduled for April 21st. Reserve Management Group has filed the appeal in hopes of getting Dr. Allison Awadi's decision to deny the permit repealed and allow it to begin operations. The company has already built a facility located on 116 near George Washington High School, but was denied the final permit it needed to begin operations. Arwadi denied the permit following the city's health impact assessment of the development. While the city's experts denied the facility would pose any health risk, Arwadi claimed the site's operators did not show they would run the site in strict compliance with permit conditions in an area that is environmentally burdened. Arwadi's decision came after months of community protests against the development. Reserve Management Group had previously filed a $100 million civil suit against the city for delaying the permit. The judge in the case dismissed the lawsuit at the time, claiming the city had not yet made a decision on the permit. The city of Chicago has announced plans to connect and expand its bike trail and path corridor. The city is considering over 48 miles of additional trails throughout the city, including on Chicago's southeast side. This includes current work on paths across Big Marsh and a path on the east side in Hegewisch that cuts through Burley Avenue. The city also is considering proposals for paths that connect the USX site to Calumet Park. Although it is unclear how the city plans to connect the path over the Calumet River and through the combined disposal facility and the area loading docks, activists have recently been calling for rezoning of the area. The addition of more bike paths and trails have been controversial, particularly because of gentrification concerns that stem from the displacement of Logan Square's population from the 606 trail. The city announced plans last year to redo Commercial Avenue to add protected bike lanes. Area residents have raised concerns because in other areas, established businesses have been forced to close due to rising rent costs near paths and the loss of the business due to parking, traffic, and a loss of clients. Some anti-gentrification activists have cited the Burley Avenue bike paths as an example of the city spending money on bike paths when it could have built roads to allow truck traffic to bypass residential areas. News stories reported on the ongoing dispute between East Chicago firefighters and Mayor Anthony Copeland. During the week, a federal judge sided with the Chicago firefighters by issuing a preliminary injunction ordering the city to return the fire department to a schedule of 24 hours on duty, followed by 48 hours off duty. Firefighters, represented by the International Association of Firefighters Local 365, claimed Copeland changed their shift schedule in retaliation for the union endorsing his political opponents. The mayor had argued the shift change was done to save city taxpayer dollars. The judge said the firefighters proved the mayor was denying their First Amendment right to lobby the Common Council into siding with the union. The city has until April 18th to restore the schedule and for firefighters. The union and mayor have been locked in disputes for 2.5 years over working schedules, pay, and benefits. And finally, an episode of the series Chicago Stories that tells the story of Latino veterans from South Chicago who fought in Vietnam has a release date set. The episode, titled Our Story, Our Lady of Guadalupe, tells the story of soldiers who were parishioners at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in South Chicago. 12 men who were parishioners of the church lost their lives in the war. On Wednesday, WTTW held a preview of the episode with a series of panelists. The panelists included the documentary producer Edgar Vargas, Vietnam veteran Angel Rosario, president and CEO of Casa Central, Marty Castro, and Maggie Rivas Rodriguez from the University of Texas Austin. The full episode is scheduled to premiere on April 29th at 8 p.m. on WTTW Chicago. And that ends our weekly review from March 28th through April 4th, 2022. Thank you for joining us for this week in review. Peace.